Caillou Goes to Jail, Chapter 5. Going way back, or 1 week like Caillou. Once the police car was gone, Daddy sat on the couch. He kind of felt bad for Caillou, but he overcame his guilt. Now he wouldn't have to worry. What the fuck are you doing, cat? Stop fucking doing that! No! No, get down, no. Good. Alright. After all, now he wouldn't have to worry about incidents like last week. Suddenly, the screen began to toilet swirl sparkly psychedelic colors, which Daddy got caught in. As he swirled around, shrieking like a little girl, 3 young gals danced onto the screen in a kicking chorus line, swinging in the tune radio stations use when similar ladies sing the call letters in city for that station. I don't know what the fuck he means, but I guess do I have to sing this part? Is that what he wants me to do? You all know what this means. It's flashback time. Whee! That's all you're getting from me. Then they all disappeared in the toilet swirl and the flashback started. 1212 insert Morse code like number line used to separate paragraphs here. 21121. Daddy had just brought Caillou home from play school. Ooh, now it's time for the author to do a completely irrelevant rant about how he don't like them saying play school instead of preschool, because this is important to the story. Thanks a lot. I mean play school. Why can't they just call it preschool in this world like normal people? Sometimes they call it play care or play group, but play school? Who the hell would call it play school? Ugh, Canadians are just confusing. They call macaroni dinner, over-abuse the word but calling preschool play school is just crossing the line. Now, I could rant on and on and on about proper term for schools, but in doing so, I'm leaving Caillou frozen in time with a doorknob in his hand. So on with the story! This is like I'm reading something that I wrote like 3 or... No. I'm 21. Maybe about 8 years ago, probably when I was about 13. That's what this feels like. It's a little bit edgy, except I probably wouldn't be as grammatically correct, because I'm an idiot. "Mommy, I'm home," called Caillou, bursting through the front door. Mommy didn't respond. He walked into the living room and saw Mommy lying on the couch with a small plastic bag filled with mysterious... Really, she's doing cocaine. This story has really jumped from, like, awful to oblivious trollfic, really, Bryn Daniel? Obvious trollfic, to even more obvious trollfic. Okay, alright, cool. With mysterious crystal white powder on the coffee table, along with rows of white powder beside it, sitting next to drinking straw halves and a pair of scissors. "Mummy!" Caillou didn't know why Mommy passed out. Isn't the narrator like an old grandma lady? Oh, whatever. I'm the narrator, fuck you! Caillou didn't know why Mommy passed out on the couch every afternoon, stated the narrator. His daddy said that Mommy was taking a nap. Oh, thought Caillou. Daddy's still on the front porch because the writer forgot to let him in, and Mommy's sleeping so... Ooh, he broke the fourth wall. Good job, author. You're so edgy. Ooh, you're real good at writing. I really like your writing style. It's real good. I wanna clap for you. That's one clap. I'm going to have some fun. Caillou had never put his finger in the power socket before. The narrator narrated narratively as Caillou slowly approached the wall outlet. He had seen Mommy and Daddy plug things in it before, but he didn't know he'd soon regret his decision. You know what? I'd go all in this story at this point. I just write that Caillou put his dick in the light socket and hit the light socket, the power outlet. They're two different words. I say light socket. Some people say power outlet. Now on with the story. Caillou slid his finger through one of the holes in the socket. I did just get a text message. You know what? I'm not even going to edit that out. I've just fucking given up. I don't even care. Suddenly he felt a jolt. He liked it. So he slid the rest of his finger in. His entire body lit up in sparks as he shook and jolted all over. Caillou soon became Electro and had a weird craving to beat the shit out of Spider-Man. After about 10 seconds, he extracted his finger and fell face first onto the ground. Out cold. Caillou's daddy woke him up. "Caillou, you stupid idiot!" he scolded him, lifting the charred little boy. "Why the heck would you stick your finger in the power outlet? God, Caillou, go to Rosie's room." He led him to his sister's room. "You can take a nap with her there, while I clean your room." Caillou was set down in Rosie's crib with her, but Daddy removed him once he realized how he could take advantage of the situation. He put one of Rosie's diapers on him over his blue shorts, then dressed him in his too small teddy shirt from when he was Rosie's age and a baby bonnet. He placed a rattle in Caillou's left hand and got Caillou's old white beanie bunny. Beanie Bunny? Do you mean Beanie Baby Bunny? Or do you mean Beanie Bunny? Because you can both things are things. He hadn't touched in a while out of the attic. Beanie Bunny, he hadn't touched in a while, out of the attic, putting it in his right hand. He forced a pacifier into Caillou's mouth. He resisted at first, but Daddy managed to stuff it in. He set Caillou back inside Rosie's crib and cranked up the volume on the baby mobile really high. Do you mean baby monitor? Or he mean the mobiles, the things that just kind of swing up on top above the crib? They don't make sounds. I mean, do they make sounds? I don't know. I'm not someone who buys Bubba mobiles. I'm not someone who buys Bubba mobiles, so I wouldn't know what they do. I just remember from The Sims, you can buy them. They sit above baby crib and they up the environment so the baby's real smooth. Usually, instead of that, I would put these big classical paintings because I wanted my baby to be smart. So you know how to make babies smart, right? In video games and in real life, you get big paintings of old dudes, and then you make them listen to music from old dudes, and then their brains get bigger. And sometimes you have to stop the music, because if you let them listen to old dudes really, really long time, they head explode. It's not good. Bad times happen. Oh, I almost forgot. Daddy said, running downstairs. He ran downstairs and, we already know this, and returned with a bottle of infant formula. He removed the pacifier and began to feed Caillou the bottle. Caillou hated every sour, bitter drop of it, but said nothing, because he was charred to a crisp and was slowly bleeding out of every orifice and dying. Once he was finished, he put the binky back in. He then kissed his children on the cheeks, saying in sweet baby talk, "Good night, my big princess Rosie. Night, night, little baby Caillou." Once Daddy was gone, Caillou began to cry, softly, feeling indignant and humiliated. He couldn't believe how much torture he had gone through for doing something that didn't deserve a harsh punishment. Caillou tried his best to rip off the horrible baby clothes, but Daddy had superglued them on. Ashamed, Caillou eventually cried himself to sleep. The mobile helped somewhat. It could make almost anyone dizzy enough to fall asleep. The author does know what a mobile is. It just makes sounds. Cool. Caillou awoke not too much later, feeling very lightheaded. He suddenly found out why. Rosie snored so loudly, the air actually became deprived of oxygen, and thus her airways began sucking the air out of Caillou's airways. That's not how that works! Usually the idiot wouldn't mind, but the shock from the power socket had temporarily affected his brain. Caillou was mad, the narrator yelled. He didn't like sharing the air with Rosie. He wanted to breathe his own air, and he thought that Rosie shouldn't have had any of his air. You know what? That's a sentence I never thought that I would ever read in my entire life on anything, ever. I never thought I'd be here, reading a fan fiction about Caillou going to jail and Caillou never actually getting there. With the deed done, Caillou jumped out of... Oh, no. Caillou took his pillow and tied it around Rosie's head. He thought that if he held the pillow over Rosie's head, then he could have the air all to himself. With the deed done, Caillou jumped out of the crib, onto the ground, and ran as fast as he could to get as much air as possible. He had no idea that Rosie's brain was gradually dying from lack of oxygen. There's just 3 periods there. It's about how I feel right now. Mommy, who was recovered from her bad trip by now, ran into the nursery after hearing muffled gasps for breath coming from Rosie's room and screamed when she saw Rosie struggling with a pillow wrapped around her head. She quickly untied her, resuscitated her, and managed to get her back. Caillou's parents confronted Caillou at the kitchen table later that afternoon. Daddy literally had steam coming out of his ears, while Mommy was cool as a cucumber. "Caillou!" shouted Daddy. "Rosie only wanted to breathe like you. There will be no cookies and milk for snack until you and your sister work this out. Or, you could send him to prison. We could actually get to him being in prison. And then we could read about Caillou going to fucking jail!" "No, we can't," screamed Caillou, lilting slightly. Daddy banged on the table. "Caillou!" He then stomped out of the room. "Oh, Caillou, I know you didn't
mean to nearly smother your sister, and I know you certainly didn't mean to make your daddy mad.
Mommy stroked Caillou's hairless head.
We love you, Caillou. You get anything you want. Now come here. Let's have that snack.
She got up to prepare it. Hooray! Caillou cheered, raising his arms. And flashback. 1, 2, 1. My mouth got kind of caught in my throat there. I'm sorry. 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1. I hate that woman, Doris, Daddy ranted. She never parents right. She's too soft. I'm glad we're divorcing.
Well, I hate you more.
Mommy walked into the room.
You just had to go and get it on with that pedophile living next to us.
Mr. Hinkle, I swear he molests Caillou every time we have no choice but to let him babysit. I hope you and Hinkle haven't been teaching him special touching games. Really? Really? Okay, this has just become done. I'm glad this is like the last readable chapter for now, because it's just fucking stupid. What? Daddy pretended to be shocked. I never did such an absurd thing.
Oh, look how innocent you are. By the way, you forgot your magazine under Caillou's bed.
Mommy pulled out an adult magazine from behind her back and opened it up. One of the less offensive pictures depicted a bikini-clad chick lying across the hood of a car. She ripped all of the pages out and tossed them all over Daddy. One landed on his head, which Mommy quickly transformed into a dunce cap. Well, Doris, this is the thanks I get for sitting on the couch quietly, Daddy growled. Mommy was furious.
Sitting quietly?
She screamed insanely, her face morphing into a stereotypical Asian face with many teeth.
You've been making a hate speech about me for 5 minutes.
Hell yeah, sitting quietly, Doris. They started arguing again. Yes, happy home indeed. Thank you for watching. Please check out my other videos. There are also things. If you want to watch more Caillou Goes to Jail, click them in the top right corner. If you want to watch a video that has nothing to do with my channel whatsoever, click in the bottom left corner. And if you want to buy shirts and shit, click them in the top left corner. Thanks. You get out of here.